Hey, welcome to a special episode of the IndyCar Dad podcast and the Fast Cars, Fast Girls podcast. I'm IndyCar Dad, and I'm here with two special guests. I have Abby and Sara from Fast Cars, Fast Girls. Now, I'm sort of a new entry into the podcast world or in IndyCar, content creator world. But these two and their podcasts have been around for almost a full decade. They are so far ahead of where I am that I'm really honored to have them on my show. And one of the things I really like about their stuff, which we'll tell you how to find later, is that they're very factual. They're very complete. They cover all aspects of IndyCar, and they do it with sort of a very understandable delivery. So I really like it. There's not a lot of fluff to their podcast. They talk about what's important at the moment, and I'm really happy to have them here. So let's start. Abby, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? And then I want to know about your biases in IndyCar. Who do you favor and who do you not like?
Absolutely. Well, thank you for that intro, Tom. We truly appreciate all the compliments. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much. So I'm Abby Meyer, one of the hosts and founder of Fast Cars, Fast Girls. The podcast started in 2017, so we've been having fun at racetracks and pretty much going anywhere that they'll let us into since then. So that's about it for my track history. I will say my first IndyCar race was an Indy 500 in 1997. So that is how long I've been an IndyCar fan.
And do you have a favorite driver?
Yes. Okay. It's hard for me now because I have a couple favorites. My favorite used to be Simon Pagenaud, and I was exceptionally biased. Absolutely exceptionally biased, and I fully admitted it. He could do no wrong in my eyes, still can't. I absolutely love him. But now there's a couple that I really like. Like, I really like Scott McLaughlin. I really like Pato O'Ward. Uh, David Malukas has always been a fun guy. I've always really enjoyed him. Connor Daly is probably my absolute favorite of all the drivers, and definitely who I have a lot of bias towards, because yeah, Connor can pretty much do no wrong in my eyes as well. Um, but
Yeah, that's
yeah, so
interesting.
I think that probably wrap up my favorites. I mean, Scott Dixon, you gotta love Scott Dixon, and I don't dislike Alex Palou. I just am tired of watching him win all the time. So yeah,
How
that's
about you,
probably my
Sara? Tell us a
bias.
little bit about yourself and who you favor.
So I just started with Fast Cars, Fast Girls this year, but I was actually a big fan of them previous. So um, I was a big Marco Andretti fan. I grew up my dad was a big Andretti fan, so when Marco was running, I was a big Marco fan. And if I could have been a fan, like the fan that has the bobblehead or the big heads, that would probably been me back in the day. I have like a progression of like pictures of getting older with Marco. So he would, yeah. So he was my favorite, and he's retired. So now I kind of keep it professional. I really don't lean towards anybody. I don't really hate per se anybody. They're all good racers. So
They really are. There's a lot of great professionals in the series.
yes.
I think my viewers know that I'm a huge Rosenquist fan, and
Oh,
it's
love Rosenquist.
and I'm completely biased. Also, I go to enough races where he knows me, so that's always
Right. And
fun.
isn't he
Like, hey
he's such a
Felix,
nice
yeah,
guy.
super nice. He always takes the time
Super
to spend
nice.
time with me. Yeah.
He does.
Um,
And he has a great memory for fans and for small details. I ran into him, it was a couple years ago, and we ran into each other at the track for something, and maybe it was for the pace car or something like that, the reveal. And I saw him, and I had said, hey, come find me at Rev because I'm getting a new manicure. I said, and it's going to go through Grand Prix weekend. And so I'm getting McLaren Orange on it was a French manicure, but with McLaren orange on the tips. I said, don't forget to come find me at Rev because I'm going to have nails that match your car, matches your livery. And sure enough, we're at Rev and I saw him and I was like, hi, Felix. And I waved and he goes, oh, you did get your nails. Which
Oh, that's nice.
especially,
That's
for a guy to notice that too. I'm like, wow, you notice everything. All right.
nice, dude. Nice, dude.
So nice.
And Abby, you'll be interested. The next podcast I do, the one I've been working on, is I'm trying to crack the code of Connor Daly. I'm trying to figure out, like, everyone says, oh, he's this and the opinions conflict, and everyone's in there with, everyone has an opinion on Connor Daly. There's no one without some opinion on Connor Daly. And I'm trying to be dad-like, and I'm going to dig through the numbers and tell you, like, what I feel about Connor Daly. So that's I'm working on it right now. I'm really crunching numbers. I have, like, AI helping me crunch numbers for the Connor Daly rundown. So we'll see. So
I'll tell you,
Penske driver.
What's that?
He
was almost so this close.
Almost
yeah,
a Penske driver.
So close.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah. So we're more than halfway through the season. What's surprised you guys so far? Like,
well,
Sarah, you want to
honestly,
start? Oh,
I was surprised. I didn't expect Felix to win the 500 this year. I wasn't surprised that he won it, but I didn't necessarily have that on my bingo card this year. And so that was super exciting because Meyer Shank is my favorite team. Obviously, my last name's Meyer. I have to pick them. And Mike Shank is just Mike and Jim both are awesome. So that was really surprising to me this year. And yeah, I guess not surprising, but what I've really enjoyed is having Will Power on a couple podiums this year because I really want to see him do well. He's one of my favorites too.
how about you, Sarah? What's been a shock for you?
The shock for me is how Will Power has not gelled as well as I thought he would with Andretti. Him, Pato, not being only having one race win was a little bit of a shock. And I would have to say more of Ed Carpenter Racing almost not having a win because they've been promising a win and we haven't had one.
I would have been shocked if they had a win. I'm not.
You're not
I don't
shocked?
think they're capable. I think they're. It is surprising how poorly they're doing. Yeah, one of the things I was going to say I'm surprised about is how poorly ECR is doing. I mean, and I can't believe the most surprising thing I think is that they re-signed Christian Rasmussen because he is having an awful season. And everyone's like, oh, he's a short oval specialist. Yeah, he's a specialist at crashing at short ovals these days.
Running into the wall.
He's awful. Like, he is really not doing well. And I'm not saying that because I don't like Christian Rasmussen. He seems like a fine guy. But his results this year, I mean, I could look at the numbers. He's sitting in 22nd place behind Romain Grosjean and just ahead of Kyle Collette, who has also found the wall a number of times. So that's bad. Even Alex Rossi's in 16th right now in the points. I mean, that's not good. But I'm surprised that Scott Dixon and Will Power aren't doing better.
Agreed.
Scott Dixon's 11th in points right now, and Will Power's 14th. So I hope Will Power and his team gel better for the rest of the season because I'd like to see him do well. I like Will Power.
I like him a lot. I like him a lot. I will say I'm excited to see how both of them, Scott Dixon and Will Power, do at Markham because they are statistically the most adaptable drivers in the field. And so when we go to a new place, they tend to do better than other drivers. They pick it up quicker with, I mean, they've been doing it longer. Experience. They see the things that not everybody sees. And so I'm excited. And I kind of hope that they'll pick up points at that race since it'll be a new track to everybody. I hope that lends to their advantage.
We have two new tracks coming.
Yeah. I think Markham's going to be really good. I think a guy to watch at Markham is going to be Pato. And here's why I think that way. Pato is relies a lot on natural talent, like on the ability to pitch it in and catch it and just drive the wheels off of the car. Colton Herta was the same way. And when they go to some of the other guys are more sim-based guys. They spend a lot of time on the sim, working on the sim, like Felix, I think, is a sim guy. And there'll be no good simulation of the Markham track. They haven't even finished it, let alone scanned it to put it into the simulators. So no one's going to know where the bumps and bruises are and that sort of thing. And the guys that can set it up real well, like Scott Dixon and Will Power, are going to be in a big advantage because they're going to know right away, I want 20% more damping or this, that, and the other thing. And guys like Pato and maybe like a Kyle Kirkwood who can just be like, car's not exactly right, but I'm going to drive the wheels off of it. I think they're going to do well. I think it's going to be a great race. Yeah. I actually, when I was in Toronto, I can take a train. I'm in the Detroit area, so I can drive across the river and take a train right there. And Markham's just one extra train. The race is actually in the parking lot of the train station. But unfortunately, it's the weekend I'm moving, so I don't get to go. So.
Oh, that's too bad.
It would have been fun, too. I don't think the crowd's going to be real heavy, so I think it would have been a good opportunity to get some good access with the teams and to see things. So, yeah.
That would have been.
All right, I'll be the first to admit that I don't comment usually on silly season because no one shares anything with me. Like, I don't know anybody from anyone. You guys are in Indianapolis. Do you hear any rumors? Do you have any silly season dirt for us?
Well, honestly, not really. No, there's nothing that we've heard that hasn't already come out. Although I'll tell you what, I thought earlier today would be a great kind of flip-flop is if Lundgaard got picked up by Meyer-Shank. Because
that is definitely...
I don't think that I would mind that. I feel like that would bring some more wins to Meyer-Shank.
Yeah, he's definitely a solid driver. I think that love triangle that's happening there is really interesting. I think Chip Ganassi. I've followed IndyCar since the mid '70s, and Chip Ganassi is one of the people I really like to pay attention to. I'll see him in the pits sometimes and say hi, and once in a great while I'll get to chat with him for a little bit. And he is definitely, I was an entrepreneur, and Chip's definitely an entrepreneur. I don't know if you know this, but Ganassi cars never have the driver's name on them. Did you know that? Every other car, like Penske, it'll say Joseph Newgarden, David Malukas. Chip Ganassi cars never have the driver's name on it. You know why? Because they're Chip Ganassi's cars.
I mean, that fits.
That's how that team
knowing
is run.
Chip, that fits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Chip knows he's in... Yeah, I know Chip knows he's in just a great position right now because there's 3 or 4 great drivers that want that ride. And there might even be some guys over in Europe that are talented that have a boatload of money or a boatload of sponsors. And I think Chip's going to wait it out. And if he does hire Lundgaard, it's going to be for low pay and some long guaranteed contract or something crazy like that. So,
does Chip go with Renus?
I hope he does.
It would be. I would enjoy seeing Renus in the Ganassi equipment for sure.
If I was Chip, I'd pick up Renus because the combination of Renus and Alex Palou, I think, would be friendly. I think they would get along real well, and they would share information. And I think that might be what they need with a new car coming down the pike. Whereas if you got a guy like Lundgaard, who supposedly is not, super friendly to teammates, that might be the kiss of death for someone like that. Chip might not put up with that. So we'll see. We're going to find out, I think, here in a couple months. But it might be a while.
I think that also being on a different team with a different vibe, a different culture might also affect that too. Because, not all teams have a share your info kind of culture, and in some of them it's more individual. So I wonder if being on a team that was already more of a sharing team, if that would make a difference.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just see like Renus and Stingray I see them at the track, they get along really well. And a lot of people haven't jibed with Stingray very well. Like I know Connor and Stingray didn't seem to be the best of buds last year, but Renus seems to be pretty easy breezy, and Alex Palou seems like just the nicest guy going. So I hope they end
he
up on the
is.
same team.
Well, and there
Yeah.
was also a rumor about a $15 million thing with Stingray Rob, but I mean, that was going around, but I don't know.
Yeah, when I say I don't know anyone in the pit lane, I know maybe two people in the pit lane, and both of them were like, "That's ridiculous. That number is so ridiculous that makes
Yeah.
no sense." So now I'm like, "Wow, this is going to be interesting," because normally people sort of hint at something and it seems sort of possible, and then it either happens or just something slightly different happens. Like people say, "Oh, Lundgaard will go to Chip, the number 9," but then he goes to the number 66 in Meyershank. Those two are kind of similar. But this
Yeah. So they've
Stingray
got the
Rob
Tech
thing,
Alliance and
yeah, the Stingray Rob thing, he either has the money or he doesn't have the money, and I've heard that he's done. Like the money that they raised for him is gone, and that's it. So, but I don't know who's bankrolling another year Stingray Rob, but
yeah. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I don't
A
know because
There's
giant
also
rival
rumors
too.
yeah, right. There's also
Giant
rumors
rival.
there's some kid from Indy Whites that has never won a race that's got tons of money. Have you heard that one? Josh
I have not heard that one
Pearson or
yet.
something? Yeah, his name's like Josh Pearson or something. He's done 3 years in Indy Lights, hasn't won a race, and he's supposedly shopping around IndyCar with like a huge pocketbook, 12, 14 million a year.
Wow.
And it's like, do we have to get that? Like, I mean, I don't want that. Do you want that? I don't want that.
No, I don't.
So,
I don't want more back markers. I don't want more average drivers with big pocketbooks. I want good
right.
racers.
Right. I mean, if Linus Lundqvist, who won almost every Indy Lights race he was in, can't get a ride, I don't want some guy that was in there for 3 years and didn't win anything. So,
Seriously.
yeah. Do you guys follow the Indy Next much?
We do. Yeah, not as heavy as we follow IndyCar, but we stay up on it.
Yeah.
I am very biased in
Yeah.
Indy Next. Miles Rowe is my favorite driver in Indy Next.
Yeah. Uh huh.
Yeah.
How about you, Sarah? Do you have a?
I don't have a favorite. No Miles Rowe. Fittipaldi's been doing good too, so
He has.
True.
Yeah. I took a selfie with Fittipaldi at Mid Ohio, and I was like, "The next time I see you, you might be an IndyCar driver." And he said, "I hope so." And then he went out and won both races from the pole. So he's doing his best, and he's got a great name. I wouldn't mind seeing him, move up. Certainly over this other guy with the pocketbook. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I'd always rather see that.
yeah. And then you guys, I imagine you're hoping Connor goes to Brian Reinbold.
I definitely am.
it makes
Yeah,
sense. It makes sense.
sure does. It sure
Be
Makes sense.
does.
surprised if they didn't at least offer it to him. Maybe the
Well,
numbers
he's
don't
gonna
look
take
right.
it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't imagine who wouldn't, but if for some reason he doesn't, but yeah, I can't imagine they wouldn't at least offer it to him with the relationship they've had, and honestly, Connor Daly is exceptionally good at raising money, and like whether you love him or hate him, I always say he's the hardest working man in IndyCar because he is hustling and trying to close deals and get sponsorships 24/7. So I will
Yeah.
save that for him. He is always trying to fund his ability to drive a race car.
He understands the business side of it. That's for sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, have you looked at the new car? What do you think?
Yeah. So, just a funny random thought I had when I first looked at it. The back wing kind of reminds me of like a bladeless fan.
Yeah.
because it
Dyson.
kind of looks like that. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like a playlist fan. But overall, I think it looks really good. I really like how the aero screen is integrated into the chassis now. It has a much smoother look than it does on the current chassis. Um, yeah, I enjoyed how the wings on the front look.
Yeah. How about you, Sarah? You notice anything you like, dislike?
When I first saw it, I came through on my Apple Watch at work, so I couldn't like necessarily look at it, but I saw it real fast and I was like, ah, it looks kind of the same. And then I actually got to sit and look at it. And it's definitely growing on me. I like that they have a spot for the cool suit now. The halo looks good. It's just a new car. And I like how Matt Damon helped do that, like bring it
Yes.
in.
Yeah,
That was big. I
that
mean,
was
he
nice.
got to wave the flag a few years back for the
Yep.
500,
Yeah.
so I'm excited for that. I thought Fox did a very good job of like kind of sneak peeking it and rolling it out because I remember the last time when the DW12 came out, it was like set 9 different cars and you had to guess what car was coming and you didn't know if you're getting the Delta Wing or some
Hmm.
other thing at the time. So I felt
And
like
all these. Yeah.
yeah, I felt like they did it better this time around.
Hmm. Yeah, that's a good point, Sarah. I remember when they were like, "Who should we pick? The Lola, the Swift, the Delta Wing," and all they ended up doing was everybody picked a favorite of theirs, and when they didn't choose the favorite, everyone was mad. They ended up making like 80% of the people angry because they gave us so much choice and then didn't listen to me personally. So yeah, that was wild. And the Delta
Yeah.
Wing just like threw a huge wrench in the works and made everybody like insane. Like, well, this would
Yeah.
change everything. And some people were like, we should change everything. And other people were
Right.
like, no, we shouldn't because it could go very wrong. So
Yes.
yeah, I like the new car. I kind of knew coming at it, as an engineer, I knew it wasn't going to be a huge difference, right? Like I knew we weren't going to get some wild looking thing. We're going to have some sort of aero screen. We're going to have front and rear wings. There's not going to be a huge difference. It's not changing. The engine's not moving to the front or the left or the right side. Everything is going to stay where it is. And I mean, these race cars, like everybody makes fun of the DW12 for lasting so long, but if it was really bad, it wouldn't have lasted so long. So you can't expect the new one to be so different. But I did
Right.
go and like look at the photographs, and I, did the engineer thing. I had the screens up with both photos, and I was comparing and contrasting, and I did a little video about that. So there are definitely some improvements. The big improvement I see in it is the width. Next time you look at it, especially if you see it from the front, you'll see that the aero screen, instead of being like this, is way out here. And it's
It
not just the
is.
aero screen. Yeah, it's not just the aero screen that's out there, but the driver's cell, like where they're sitting, is
Yes.
way like that. And that's going to protect our drivers a lot better because it will give the teams and everyone an ability to put crash foam in those empty voids so that when there is an accident, the driver has some protection. And I think that's going to make a big difference in preventing fatalities. And that's really important.
Absolutely. Well, and with that area being bigger, that opening to get in and out is bigger, which in an emergency is only a good thing to have an
Sure.
easier in and out.
Right. And they're talking about, oh, it'll fit a wider range of drivers, meaning bigger drivers can get out of there quicker.
Yes, because that
And
has
even,
been a
and
problem.
right.
I mean, not a problem, but that, it can be an issue because like Lundgaard is, this big around, he's a beanpole. And whereas
Yeah.
Connor Daly isn't the tallest guy, like
Mhm.
he's a
Pretty
thick guy,
thick. Yeah.
like he's a solid
Yeah.
dude. And so he's not going to have that like skinny, no hip kind of body that Lundgaard does.
And then you got Graham Rahal, who's big both ways, like he's broad
Yeah,
shouldered and tall. And, I bet you if you timed how long it takes Graham Rahal to get out of that car, you'd be surprised how long it does.
I bet it. Yeah, I bet that's true.
Yeah.
And I
So,
also like
but,
how they're
and
saying,
they say it's, yeah. Sorry,
no, no,
Sarah, you go.
no, it's fine. I like how they're saying that they're going to try to go for the track record because it's been a while since we've
Me,
had a track record and it's lighter. So
96
it's
and
going to,
97.
yes, it's going to be lighter. So it's
20.
going to be faster. And I'm excited for
Yeah.
some fast speeds.
We might
Right, and we're
see
getting
upper
more
240s
horsepower.
of trap speeds. I'm sorry,
That's
Tom.
what
I
I
talked
want.
right over you. What'd you say?
No, I want to see 240 lap speed.
Yeah, that would be
Average lap
wild.
240, wild.
Oh,
And it'd be great to see 250 trap. That would be
oh.
awesome. But with that bigger safety cell and all other improvements, I mean, maybe they'll let it happen.
I mean, we shall see.
We
We shall
shall.
see.
I
Yeah,
didn't stare too far away from IndyCar because IndyCar is IndyCar. Like
right.
we don't want to do too crazy because they kind of did that with the DW12 when they did all those aero kits, and then
Hmm.
that one
Those were
race they
crazy.
did it. It was like yellow,
Hmm.
yellow, yellow because everything was breaking off of it. So
Hmm.
I'm kind of excited to see how this one's going to do, and they have more time to look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the aero kit thing was weird. I loved it
Yeah.
as an engineer. I loved
Sure.
seeing what they were bringing. They show up at a short oval and they have like 6 wings on the thing. It was
Yeah.
great. But you're right. It started to disrupt the racing, and it also started to separate the teams that had a tight connection to the factories and the teams that didn't. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not, I didn't like the unfairness of that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because with being a spec series, we shouldn't have that kind of disparity.
yeah.
But
All
that's
right,
the
here, I'm
other
going to
thing
ask you.
I
Oh,
don't like the dampers. They don't get to do their own dampers.
hold on, Sarah.
Okay.
That's not necessarily true because I read the press release and they said everyone's going to share the same damper architecture. That does not mean everyone's getting the same dampers. That's very different.
Okay.
All
So,
right.
right now, there are teams that run something called an inerter. An inerter. And I won't try to go into it, what it does or how it works, but it's a very sophisticated, very hard to make suspension component. It is like a shock absorber to the next level. Is a way to describe
Okay.
it. But not everybody makes inerters, not everybody has inerters, and not everybody runs inerters. And they tried to run them in Formula One, and they banned them, but they're legal in IndyCar. So now you have some teams like Andretti will throw one on. You don't have to have it, but they'll put one on at times. And other teams like Juncos probably doesn't have any in their toolkit, or they don't have the firepower to. They have to be tuned to a specific frequency. So some teams, like a two-car team, is going to be less able to do that or anything like that. Well, the new car is going to have an inerter on it. Everyone's getting inerters. And then you just have to tune it. So, but that doesn't mean everybody gets the same one. They haven't said, there's been nothing said that you buy your dampers from this one company or you buy your inerters from this one company. Nobody said that, but they have said everyone has the same architecture, meaning everyone has the same style of dampers. So I think it might prevent some of the teams from spending gazillions of dollars and other teams not. But every team's going to have to learn to run inerters in their cars. So I think it's a good move. But it was
Okay.
misconstrued. I read a bunch of people on Reddit saying, "Oh, great, everyone's getting the same shocks now. It's totally a spec series." But they just said the architecture, which doesn't mean the same thing. So we'll see.
I
Gonna be
heard somebody
exciting.
wanted power steering, and I'm like, ooh. I heard that on one of the podcasts. I was like, no, that makes IndyCar
No.
IndyCar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's,
want to see my drivers look like they have bowling balls in their shoulders, like,
yeah, dude. Yeah. Take
yeah,
away power steering, please. Like, why don't you just make
this
it not
is
open wheel anymore? That's how,
right.
that's,
Yeah, this is racing for manly
yeah.
men and strong women.
Yes.
Like, yeah, yeah, Catherine Legg. Like, I want to see her
Yeah,
grip
dude.
that wheel and
She's,
pitch it into turn one. Yeah,
yeah.
fantastic. All right, I'm going to ask you to make a prediction. This is a
Okay.
multi-level prediction. You can give as much detail as you want. Who is going to win the 2028 Indy 500? So we got new cars. We have a lot of these guys won't be with the same team. Who's going to win?
This is 2 years out. I don't know.
Hmm.
I know. And especially not
And
having seen the
everything's going
car
to be changed,
perform. I
right?
mean, because I don't know what the passing is going to be like with this new car. Because that very much
Right.
can,
And it's also
yeah.
it's also what team's going to do well with a new car.
Yeah. So I feel like Ganassi's still going to do well. Penske's still going to do well. The teams you'd expect. I bet maybe Scott McLaughlin. I'll say that. Scott McLaughlin. Maybe that'll be his year.
Good choice. I should write this down.
I'll
go with
remember.
McLaren.
If we put money on it, I'll remember.
Yeah.
I'm going to say McLaren because they put all their chickens in one basket. They have Scott Dixon. They have Felix Rosenquist. They have Pato. Pato's still searching for a win. Do it. So I'm going to go McLaren because they're putting their eggs in one basket.
Uh-huh.
Sara, I think that's a great choice for that reason. McLaren has figured out, if you said who do you want, if you want to develop a new car, who would you want to hire? The first person I would want to hire is Scott Dixon. Hands down, Scott Dixon. Now, who would I want to replace Nolan Siegel at the lower salary that's down at that level? Felix Rosenquist is a great choice. Great third guy to have on the team. And Pato, who do you want to drive an Indy 500 with a brand new car? I'd choose Pato. So I think they've really done a good job with it. Since you chose McLaren, I'll try to choose someone different, change my answer. I'm going to say maybe it's Andretti because they also, I think, have a great lineup for a new car and for an Indy 500 win. They're going to have Kyle Kirkwood, who's a great talent. They're going to have, it sounds like they're going to have Marcus Ericsson, who's really almost won the race 3 times, and he has won it once. And then they're going to have Will Power, who's a fantastic development driver. So those 2 teams, I think, are going to be really great. And then Penske, of course, is going to be great with Joseph Newgarden, Scott McLaughlin, David Malukas. Who I'm not so convinced is going to be great is Chip Ganassi with Alex Palou and who knows, and Kiffin Simpson. I'm not sure that's the right combo right there. I think McLaren just ate their lunch.
Yeah, that's definitely possible. Definitely possible.
Yeah.
But, you never know because we still have 2 years, and Ganassi is really good at picking drivers up right before they really hit their stride in IndyCar. Because he picked up Alex Palou his sophomore year. His freshman year, he was at Dale Coyne.
I know.
And, which I actually called at the beginning of that season that he was going to win. I was like, Alex Palou is going to win the championship. He was with Ganassi. It was one of the few times that I've made like a big prediction and I was right. I'm so proud of myself. But so Chip is very talented at doing that, and we still have a couple, two classes of Indy Next drivers to work their way up. So I don't know that it's all lost for Ganassi just yet.
And maybe it's going to be a good thing for Penske because Penske lately has just kind of been average and not
Just
Penske perfect.
yeah.
And maybe the new car is going to put that to them.
Good point. They'll definitely, they always have the best prepared cars. And with a new car, they might spot some things that are questionable. Like the other day, Graham Rahal was super duper slow. And he was saying the car's not right. The car's I swear the car's broken. Something's wrong with it. And they were like, oh, just run it. Kept sending them out. And then that night, Saturday night, they found something that was broken in the car. It said internally something on the chassis was broken. Penske would never have allowed that.
No.
The Penske people would have found that problem before they ever left for the racetrack, and they would have swapped out those parts. The Penske Perfect would have never let that happen. When you have a new car, if you're the first one that's able to spot problems that come down the line, you're going to not lose. And part of winning is not losing, So,
Yeah.
Great answers. You guys see, this is why I love your podcast, because what's going on. You guys are really sharp about this. I really like it. I think other people should pay attention to the Fast Cars, Fast Girls podcast. So,
Well, thank you.
Let's talk one more thing, just one more subject, so we don't, Marshall Pruitt this thing. Did I say that? And so what are you looking forward to for the rest of the season?
Well, I'm really looking forward to Milwaukee because it's an oval and it's a doubleheader. And that's like my favorite combination. Doubleheader and an oval. I'm here for it. And that'll be my last race in person. I won't be able to go to any of the other IndyCar races this season. So yeah, it'll be my last in person one, and I'm excited for it.
A good one.
I'm curious to see the new tracks, Markham, the DC, to see how that goes.
Mm,
Also want to see when Alex Palou gets the championship. If, somebody gets close enough to him, that's going to cause something crazy. Last year, or, he crashed in Milwaukee. So, like, crazier
not
things
that
have
we,
happened.
yeah, not
Yeah.
We
that we're
can all have
wishing that
hopes
on
and dreams.
anybody,
Yeah.
Not,
but
not craziness, but when will that happen? Will the leader top three switch it up again? I mean, we have two road courses. Kyle Kirkwood, I mean, yes, he came down since Nashville, but I mean, he's right up there too. So
sure is, and is great at street courses.
actually he had a battery failure. Sorry, he didn't crash. So sorry. I had to correct myself, but had issues in Milwaukee before. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
had
I'm
issues.
correcting myself
Oh, you
here,
mean
but yes.
Alex Palou last year? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, that's
Um,
right.
I also am looking forward to the new tracks. I'm looking forward to the Markham track. The Washington D.C. thing, I'm not that big of a fan. I actually made some Epstein 250 T-shirts.
That's
Jeez.
So,
fantastic.
um, yeah, that's gonna make me lose my credential or something probably. But I won't be
Hopefully
attending
people,
that one. But I'm interested to watch it. And I'm really
Sure.
looking forward to the Markham race. I did always enjoy Toronto. I really like the environment where I don't know if you'd ever been there, but the paddock was indoors. It was in it.
Wow.
The paddock was in the convention center, so you could walk around the paddock. It was like somewhat cool. I don't think it was
That's
air
awesome.
conditioned, but it was just very cool in there, and it was away from the
Yeah.
sun, and it was really nice. It was a nice environment. You couldn't see much of the track though, so
Mm.
you gave up like viewership for comfort, but it was nice change. I'll be at the
speaking of
last
the
race of the
DC
year.
race,
Yeah,
sorry.
yeah.
Speaking of the
I'll
DC
be at the
race,
last race. Yeah, yeah. Same with the DC race. It's gonna be indoors.
well, no, well,
Oh,
the PPG, I was just saying Penske's American flag car, if you haven't seen it, it looks
uh
really
huh.
cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like they did a good
Ooh,
job. They did a really good job with it. And I kind of wish they would run it at the 500. It's that cool. Like they did
yeah.
like all three of their cars stacked and then just the PPG car and it looks pretty
Mm,
darn good.
good to
So
know.
Very
sorry.
nice.
But yes, but I wish I was going to Laguna Seca because Laguna Seca is pretty.
Mm. It's on
Yeah,
my list. It's just not going to happen this year, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. I'm
But
excited.
you're going.
I missed a lot of races that I could have easily gone to, like Milwaukee. It's not far from here.
Yeah.
And then Markham, I couldn't go either. But I did go to a bunch of races at the beginning of the year, and then I went to Mid Ohio, and now I'm taking a break until Laguna moving, and then going to Laguna Seca. So I'm
Are you
really
doing
looking.
a pace car ride? I want to know what the corkscrew and the hills feels
Oh,
like.
I
Are you
have.
doing that?
I'll try to get one. I'll enter the lottery. But
Yeah.
yeah, we were talking about Miles Rowe. I got a Vencar ride from Miles Rowe in Toronto once, and he held nothing back. Like we were so
Yeah.
close to the wall. So, have you guys ever gotten any of those? Have you been in the two-seater,
I've done
Abby or
both.
Sarah?
She's
Yeah.
I've
done
done both.
both. I've never done the two-seater. I've only done hot laps and like
Uh huh.
did both of them with Larry Foyt, and you get your money's worth with Larry Foyt. He also, there was one that I was convinced we were going to roll the car, and I'm a nurse in my day job, and I was like,
Uh huh.
okay, Abby, when this car rolls, you have to keep your wits about you because you're going to have to direct everybody else in the car depending on what kind of a trauma this ends up being. Like I was for sure like we are going to lose it. That was in Portland. But yeah, so Sarah, go on because you've done the two-seater.
The two-seater was really, really cool. I did it at Indy, and my dad got to do it with Mario Andretti. I got Matty Brabham, but it was still really cool though. It was still really cool because Brabham is a big name at the Speedway. So I was cool, and I made sure my dad got to do Mario Andretti because that was like his hero, and yeah. But it was insane, like the neck strength of these drivers. Like I was like, my neck was like, ah! It was bad. Like And then I was a dummy and I was like waving to my parents in the pits and my hand was like, ah. And Matt was probably like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'm having so much drag right now. But it was really, really, really fun. Definitely highly recommend the two-seater ride if you haven't got a chance. I tried to get it for my husband for a wedding present, but they were sold out. So I'm still trying to make up
Yeah.
for that. So hopefully I can get it because I want him to do it at the Speedway. All the other
Mhm.
Yeah.
tracks would be really, really cool, but when you do it at Indianapolis, it just
That's where I
Much
want to do
better.
mine when I
I
do
did
do it.
I did a 2-seater ride at Detroit,
ooh,
and
Nice.
it was raining.
or the Detroit
No, in the
newer
city
circuit.
course.
Okay.
Yep. And it was raining, and I got there like they said, get there early. I was the first one there. I was chatting up all the people, and then they were like, "We're gonna send one car out just to see what the track's like." And they were like, you can get in that, you'll get in the first car because you were here first." So we got
Yeah.
out, we did one lap, and then we came around. And I thought I was going to be done, and then I got another lap. So everyone else got one lap. I
Wow,
got
that's
two.
cool.
So
But
that
that's
was
awesome.
nice. Just to being friendly gets you far, you know.
Sure
And you
does.
You know,
Yeah,
got to
being
do it in the
definitely.
rain.
enthusiastic.
You got to
Yeah,
do it in the
Absolutely.
rain.
Flavor Flav
That's
was. Yeah, that was crazy.
Flavor Flav.
Kyle Kaiser. Kyle Kaiser was the guy that knocked Fernando Alonso out of the 500 that year.
Yeah.
That's who was driving the car. And we went into turn
He's a great
one,
guy.
and he slid the car out, and I swear the rear wheels were 6 inches from the wall. And that was
That's
the
crazy.
first turn, turn one, first turn, and I was like, oh man, I really was thinking getting a 2-seater ride is so cool, but being in a 2-seater crash would be epic.
Well, you sign your life away for it, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
But as long as you didn't get hurt, you know.
yes, yeah. No, if I could
Yeah,
walk away, yeah. But I
yeah.
will say Mario got really dang close to the turn three wall in Indy. And I used to sit in turn three, and I like my turn three, but the wall is, I could go out and touch it. So
Yeah,
it was cool though. Like it was very cool.
That is
great.
awesome. I will say, even
Well,
with my hot lap, it was two of them, and well, the first one I did was at Worldwide Technology Raceway, formerly known as Gateway,
huh,
and
yeah.
so it was on an oval, also Larry Foyt, and that was my very first one ever. And the first lap, we get in there, and he just hits it. I mean, like we are just going super fast, right off the bat, and I literally the whole first lap just looked like this.
It's a
And then
thrill.
we get around to the start finish line, and I'm in my head, I'm like, say something, you fucking weirdo. Like, you haven't said a single thing. You're just sitting here with this shit eating grin on your face. Like, you look like a total spaz. Say something. And so I was just like, hey, Larry, how are you today? I mean, like, I couldn't think of anything else. I was just like, how are you? How's your day
I
been?
did. I sat in the front seat on my pace car ride, and I can't remember who was driving me. It was some sports car driver. I do remember that at the road course at Indy. And I said the comment, "Oh, you curbed it." He's like, "Yeah, because everybody else in front of me curbed it. I'm not going to not curb it." So it was kind of fun.
That
That
is
does
fun.
sound fun. Yeah. Well, if anyone is listening to this and you have the opportunity, do not turn down any kind of ride in any kind of car at an IndyCar event, road course or oval. Do not turn it down.
The
That is,
IndyCar
Um,
Fan Club is great for that. You have the
yeah.
opportunity. It's worth the money. When I was just a fan, I did
yep,
it for a couple of
IndyCar
years, and
Nation.
it's IndyCar
Yeah.
Nation is worth
IndyCar
it.
Nation.
Even for your
I,
Absolutely.
kids. Even for your kids. If you have
oh,
kids and they're big
especially
into
for your
IndyCar,
kids.
they get to
Especially.
take picture opportunity to win a picture with the winning driver.
Yes,
Hmm.
and you
Worth
can
it.
Yeah.
you can win that. You can win to skip the line for autographs. You can win all kinds of cool, fun fan experiences. You can see race control, so you can get a tour of race control and go around and check all that out. You can get a tour of oh, what
Tech
else?
inspection.
Yep, you can get a tour of like the infield care center or like AMR demonstration stuff. It's just all kinds of cool stuff that you can do with that. So I absolutely, yeah, I love IndyCar Nation.
I even got a free pass for a weekend. It was pretty cool. So
Yeah.
That is. I think we're gonna wrap it up, but I know where to find you guys, but why don't you tell everyone where to find you, where you like to interact with them and all of that so that they can get the best Fast Cars, Fast Girls experience.
Yes, so you can find everything on our website, www.fastcarsfastgirls.com. Of course, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Threads, Twitter /X, TikTok. We're on all of the things. So you just search Fast Cars, Fast Girls, and we'll pop right up. If
Check
you
us
want
out
to
on
reach out.
Tuesdays
But
for
yeah, and we
trivia.
have
Tuesday.
Trivia Tuesdays, so make sure to check out our Instagram stories on Tuesdays. Sarah's doing all kinds of fun trivia, so make sure you check that out and participate. So fastcarsfastgirls.com.
Great. Thank you. And thanks for being on the show. You can find me. I'm IndyCar Dad, so it's at IndyCar Dad. Well, I'm not on everything. Sorry. I have a podcast that's on the podcast networks, and the video like this one is on YouTube. And then I do Instagram and TikTok. Those are a little lighter. I'm a little more silly on the Instagram and the TikTok.
Sure.
Abby and Sara, thank you so much. And I look
Thank
forward
you.
to seeing you at the track. Abby,
Excellent. Well,
you want to sign us out?
I sure will. Thanks so much for having us. That'll wrap it up this week for Tom and Sarah. I'm Abby, and we'll see you guys at the racetrack.